So I still see some people trickling in, but we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for being here. Welcome, everyone. In case we haven't yet met, I'm Cara Pryor, president of James Publishing. I'm the founder of our Marketing Amplifier program. And I talk to dozens of attorneys every week, and we're primarily talking about really the best ways to improve their marketing results. And probably the most common question that I get week over week is, how can I distinguish myself from the competition, right? I hear it all the time. And it's important to remember that most of your prospective clients, they can't really see the difference among the lawyers that they're considering hiring. And there tends to not be a lot of difference from website to website, right? All the legal websites tend to kind of look the same. But the solution is to let prospective clients meet you on your website, learn about you, learn about your approach, who you are as a person, who you are as an attorney, and allow them to see how you've handled similar cases in the past, right? And this all requires video. So the best way to stand out is through custom video, hands down. It's also a great way to build trust, build familiarity with your prospective clients, right? So today, again, I want to reinforce letting prospects see and really hear you through video is the most effective way to distinguish yourself from the competition, hands down. So today we're going to talk about how exactly to do that. So during today's session, it's example packed. I'm going to show you a ton of sample videos so you can really get a sense of what I'm trying to convey. But today I'll show you how to use custom videos to tell the stories of your past clients, really how to explain what brought you to the law, what brought you to your specialty, provide helpful information, certainly about how prospects matter will be handled, what they can expect, what will be expected of them, and what they can expect of your office. And then, of course, answer common prospect questions, answer common new client questions. And then we'll cover easy ways to promote these videos once you have them created, right? I mean, creating them, that's most of the battle, but people need to actually see them, and there's some very easy ways to get your videos out there, and we'll cover those. We'll cover those during today's session as well. So, quick heads up before we dive in, I am about to show you exactly how to create and promote the best legal videos. But just know, if you don't have the time or the internal resources to take on this work yourself, it is all included in our Marketing Amplifier program. I'll provide more info on that at the end, but just know, if you do need help with any of this, of course, we can help you out. And I actually just dropped my direct scheduler link in the chat of Zoom. So if you want to talk to me, feel free to click on that link and schedule an appointment. I'd love to chat. And know throughout this presentation, feel free to ask any questions that you have. You can submit those through the chat or through the Q&A on Zoom, and we'll get to those at the end. Okay, so let's dive right in. So starting with tell the stories of past cases. So if you're going to create just one category of video, I really recommend that it be about cases that you've handled in the past, right? So persuade prospects that you specifically have the knowledge, you specifically have the talent to handle their legal matter. And how do you do that? You do that by showing them a case, a past case, or a past transaction that's very similar to theirs, right? So ideally, each video should cover only one case and should sort of unfold as 2, maybe 3-minute story told sort of in chronological order. So the larger your collection of videos covering a variety of legal matters with sort of varying fact patterns, that you've handled in the past, the better your odds, of course, of matching one with a prospect situation. And that's kind of the goal. You want these past case videos to really be a growing collection, right? So that prospects can come to your site and listen, see you discussing a situation that is very similar to the one that they're experiencing. So it really means building your collection of past cases or transactions should be an ongoing effort. And I like to say, ideally, that you'll get sort of in a habit of just shooting these videos every time a case concludes. So at least every time that a case concludes that has a fact pattern that you haven't yet added to your past case video library, right? So just include it in your process. So as your case wraps, you have a series of steps. You probably, hopefully already have this system in place. Just slot in a few minutes to shoot a video that describes the case that you just handled. And it's most fresh in your mind then too, so that you're not, waiting sort of months to get this going. So I want to show you, as I will throughout this presentation, I want to show you an example of what I'm talking about. So here's an example of a past case video that we recently shot for an Orange County personal injury attorney. His name's Mark Lazarus, and I'll play a part of it for you in just a moment. But know that we recorded this video over Zoom, which is how we keep our shoots efficient and affordable. We, of course, eliminate travel, keep the shoot to about 30 minutes, and very little preparation is needed. So just know that you can do the same thing, right? You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need these videos to, have high production value. Use Zoom, record a meeting, similar to what I'm doing now. You could have a talking head with some slides, but, because ideally you're sort of supplementing the storytelling with maybe some stock footage, maybe some text call outs, maybe some slides. But I say this because you don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars to create really effective legal videos. And even if you're doing it on your own, it doesn't need to be, that's the biggest hurdle that's going to hold you back, is just starting, just shooting these. So don't let that stand in your way. And it's interesting, this video that I'm about to show you for attorney Mark Lazarus, he had previously invested about 12 grand in a video shoot, a custom video shoot. He had a whole crew come out to his beautiful office in Newport Beach. They spent an entire day. Mark and his staff were really committed, spent a lot of time, a lot of resources, and they created one, really nice looking video. But, Mark told me he was actually more impressed with this video that was so much more efficient and really, kind of cut to the core. So let me play a few moments of this video for you now, so you can get a sense of what I'm talking about.
At Russell and Lazarus, not only do we handle regular auto accidents and slip and falls, we also handle catastrophic injuries. We had a case where a 60-year-old gentleman was riding his motorcycle with his lovely wife on the back of the motorcycle. The motorcycle lost control and his vehicle ran into a boulder on the side of the road. He suffered quadriplegic injuries and essentially succumbed to his injuries and passed away. His poor wife also suffered severe injuries. When we got the case, there was nothing to tell us as to someone else's faults. However, looking at photographs of the scene, inspecting the scene, finding skid marks, finding parts on the road.
Okay, so you can imagine how compelling this would be to a prospect who's watching this, looking for the right attorney, and they realize, wow, attorney Lazarus has handled a situation, a case that is very similar to the one that I'm experiencing. At Russell and Lazarus,
not only do we
trying to advance here. Okay, so new practice with few past cases. So if you recently opened your law firm, or maybe you're entering a new practice area, which became quite common during the pandemic, I suggest using, rather than talking about past cases, because you just don't have very many, you can use cases in the news, or even just hypotheticals rather than past cases. So this is one of the more common objections I get from attorneys when I recommend them starting with custom video. Specifically, of course, the past case video. They say, well, I don't really have too many past cases, or at least too many past cases that fit the type of case that I'm looking to attract in the future. That's okay. That it's completely understandable, right? But it's still critical to provide this type of content. So in other words, if not many of the case types you want to promote have concluded for one reason or another, consider explaining how you would handle relevant cases discussed in the news, or use sort of commonly occurring hypotheticals. So the key is just to explain what is likely to unfold with a case type which matches a fact pattern that you want to handle, right? So in explaining how you would handle a case of that type, you demonstrate expertise in the same way that you would if you were outlining an actual case that was handled, right? So in detailing how the case would unfold, you address the biggest question all prospects have. What's that question? What is the likely result in my case, right? That's what prospects want to understand. What is the likely result in my case? And I actually heard of a criminal lawyer who explains how he would handle charges resulting from videotaped police searches and arrests. So these aren't cases that he's handled, but just video that he has access to. And then he describes how he would have handled this situation. So, don't let that hold you back. It's just as effective. Okay. Explain what brought you to the law. So this is another category of video that I highly recommend shooting and adding to your website. So endear yourself to prospects by detailing how you got into your area of practice, how you were how and why you were first attracted to the law, your passion for helping clients. Your prospects want to know that their case is being handled by someone who cares, right? And this is one of the best ways to convey that caring is, why are you so passionate about helping people in situations like the one your prospect is going through? What life experiences kind of contributed to that, to your career path and to this point in your life? Again, want to show you an example of this. This is one of our subscribers, Andy Rosenberg. We recently shot this video for him. I think you'll understand after showing you a bit of it, how this would sort of endear him to his prospects and his new clients. So let's take a listen.
What actually got me into the practice of law? It's a very interesting question. I never really thought I was going to be a lawyer until I had one thing in particular happen to me. When I was growing up, my sister Laura, she was 9 and I was 11 at the time. I have 2 older sisters, but my youngest sister ended up getting diagnosed with cancer. And so I grew up with cancer in the household. And when she was 19, she unfortunately passed away. I'm from Indiana. And my parents didn't know what the heck they were doing as far as the estate side of things and handling my sister and what happened. And because of that, I kind of saw attorneys and what they had to do to help out my family. And it really got me interested in the practice of law. And that's how I ended up going to law school. And I thought I would be an estate planning attorney, and I am. But I actually...
Okay, so you can see again how that really just begins to build the trust, break down those walls, and kickstart that relationship that is so critical with your prospective clients and your new clients as well.
What actually got...
Okay, another category of video, provide helpful information. So demonstrate expertise by explaining how a case would unfold, whether the situations are past cases, news events, hypotheticals, right? But you also address the biggest question of all, like what is the likely result of my case, like I mentioned. So to avoid new client remorse, follow up with educational materials and videos here. So know that it's really important to kind of fill that gap when you take on a new client. There can often be a communication gap between retention and when that visible work is done, right? So this is a perfect opportunity to provide helpful information about what is the process like? What will be expected? What will be expected of your new client? What can the client expect of you in your office? What's a general timeline? An educated client is a better client. You know that, right? And if they don't hear anything from you right after they've retained you, they get crickets, that makes them nervous, right? Naturally, they're just going to assume that nothing is being done, despite the fact that you're working very hard on their case behind the scenes. They don't see that. They don't understand the process. They think, oh shoot, did I hire the right attorney? Is he or she doing anything for me right now? What is going on? I'm floundering. I'm confused. So use this opportunity to provide helpful information to your new clients, okay? So here's an example of this type of video. This one's called Preparing for the Realities of Litigation. So I'll play a short bit for you now.
Preparing for the realities of litigation. As a potential litigant, You need to understand the stresses and uncertainties of litigation. Unless you have had prior litigation experience, you may not fully appreciate the resources litigation demands. Money is not the only requirement. You must be prepared to devote time to working on the case. Litigation is often an intense, emotionally draining experience.
Okay, so I want to show you yet another example, just to kind of give you another sample in a different area. Here's a video called Common Mistakes in Proving Your Claim for Disability Benefits. So I'll play this for you now too.
Common mistakes in proving your claim for disability benefits. Mistake number 1, assuming that Social Security has all your medical records. Social Security will make an effort to obtain your medical records, but ultimately it is your responsibility to ensure that the medical evidence in support of your claim is common.
Okay, so next sort of category of video that I highly recommend. Answer common questions, right? Display your knowledge and really your willingness to help by offering a collection of frequently asked questions, FAQ videos, which provide helpful information. They build familiarity, they build trust. So these videos address questions that are regularly asked by your prospects and new clients. And you probably know these questions better than anyone. They're probably questions that you get every day. Take a few minutes and just list out some of the most common questions that you get, and that's a great starter. In a moment, I'll provide some examples in varying practice areas just to kind of get the wheels turning, get some inspiration going. But really, you do know these questions and how the best responses to these questions. So that's a great place to start. And like past case videos, FAQ videos do demonstrate your expertise. They of course provide helpful information. They build familiarity because no doubt you have a group of your prospects, a group of visitors to your website who, and it could be a rather large group, who is not quite ready to give you a call. They're not quite ready to book that consult, but perhaps they're looking to get their questions answered. They're looking to gather more information. They're confused, they're scared, they're nervous. They don't know where to turn. If you can be the one to provide those answers, you can see how, you would instantly stand out and distinguish yourself from the competition, right? So, prospects who are sort of currently, they're a bit earlier in the investigation process. That's who we're talking about. They're not quite ready to select a lawyer, but they have many questions at this phase, like, do I have a case? What happens next? Can I handle this myself? What might go wrong? How much is this going to cost? So, that is usually why they're searching on Google with these questions to get answers to these questions. You can attract them as well as display your knowledge and your willingness to help by offering a collection of videos which answer these common questions. Okay, so I mentioned I will provide some examples in varying areas of practice to provide some inspiration, give you an idea of the type of videos that really resonate and really work best. But again, you know the questions that you get all the time that would be helpful to your prospects and clients. And answering common prospect questions with video, it really does offer several benefits. You won't have to verbally answer the same question over and over and over again, or at least as often, right? And prospects come to you better educated about what lies ahead. They know what to expect. They're better prepared. And also the prospects who contact you are higher quality when they are more educated. So, that last statement is true, right? Prospects who contact you are higher quality when you have educated them first. And you can do this in an automated way by shooting these videos. And we've heard from multiple lawyers over the years that after they begin kind of offering educational content, they just naturally attracted higher quality prospects. And those prospects were better prepared, more willing to follow the lawyer's advice. We offer video scripts and as well as accompanying slides for many prospect questions. So here are some examples on the screen now. I'll go through them quickly. Again, the idea here, get the wheels turning. You can certainly use these topics as well. So in the area of bankruptcy, some options could be, is my situation bad enough to file bankruptcy? Can bankruptcy save my home? Will bankruptcy harm my career? Business litigation, when is a party excused from its contractual obligations? What are the common defenses to breach of contract? And then what must I prove to win a breach of contract case? Let's continue with some examples in some other areas. So criminal defense, can you get the evidence against me thrown out? Do I need a lawyer if the prosecution offers a standard plea bargain? How can I get an arrest or conviction off my record? Estate planning, maybe questions, would include, do I need an attorney to draft my estate plan? I'm sure you've heard that if you're an estate planning attorney. What else is needed besides a will? How do I protect my estate plan from a disappointed beneficiary? Last slide with some additional examples for family law. Should I tell my spouse I am planning a divorce? How can I minimize the harm to my children? Who will get the house? Personal injury, how do I pay my medical bills? How do jurors evaluate auto accident cases? What are some common adjuster negotiating tactics I should watch out for? And perhaps if you're practicing in the area of Social Security disability, am I likely to qualify for benefits? Can I work part-time while my case is pending? What is a hearing like? So start by answering the questions that you hear most often. Keep your answers direct and practical. Try to use sort of plain English and answer only one question with each video. So whether your answer takes 1, 2, maybe 3 minutes, still just keep one answer to one video. You don't want to just, combine a string of answers. That's not nearly as useful for a prospect who's looking for a specific answer, right? And just kind of try to avoid wishy-washy sort of it depends answers. Provide ranges where it's difficult to be specific, but again, be as direct and use plain English whenever possible. So ideally, you'll deliver additional information with accompanying slides for this type of video, instead of kind of merely repeating statements you make verbally. And I'm going to show you an example here that kind of reinforces avoid lengthy stretches with only your talking head appearing. So if you don't want to use slides or other visuals, a whiteboard can substitute for slides. That's a great visual. Perhaps you're holding a whiteboard or you're standing beside one and you have notes pre-written. You have items that you can point to. It just makes your communication, it makes your message that much clearer. And at the end, be sure to kind of recap the points you made earlier, bullet out what you discussed. And so here's an example of an FAQ video we recently created for a client. I'll play some of some of it now. I'm actually going to show you 3 different frequently asked question videos because these are so effective. So here's the first one. So take a look.
I'm Jason English, founder of Jason English Law. I'm a former prosecutor who now represents good people who are facing criminal and drunk driving charges. One thing that I'm often asked is, hey, the police didn't read me my rights. And what does that mean? We're going to talk about that more today. Police didn't read my rights. Will the charges against me be dismissed? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can. I'm Jason.
Okay, so let me play another one for you here that answers the common question.
What steps can I take to repair my credit after bankruptcy? After successfully completing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, a debtor has a clean slate with regard to discharged debts. However, they may find it difficult, if not impossible, to buy a new home, get a credit card, etc., due to the damage to their credit. Repairing credit after a bankruptcy is challenging, but doable. Here are some strategies on how to start.
Okay, and I want to show you one last sort of inspiration video since these FAQ, frequently asked question videos are so effective. Okay, one last one here.
Hi, I'm Neema Olanen, and I'm a DWI and criminal defense attorney practicing in the Collin County, Texas, and surrounding areas. Sometimes it's hard to know what to do when the police are at your door. Today, I'd like to discuss that with you. The police are at the door. Do I have to let them in? I'd like to discuss that with you guys today. The police are knocking at your door. Do you know what to do? Well, the answer depends on whether the officers have a warrant. So before you open the door, ask, hi, I'm Nia.
Okay, so moving on, reducing calls from unqualified leads. So teaching prospects to evaluate their legal situations the same way that you would evaluate them, it's time well spent. And videos are a really good way to complete this task. So use them to describe who you've represented in the past and to briefly explain sort of the minimum thresholds required for you to accept a case. So these minimums will convey that you're selective in who you represent, and that to be honest, that exclusivity, that sort of feeling of exclusivity will really increase the desire for your services. I kind of call this a little bit of deselling, right? You don't want to waste your time, frankly, with those folks who you just can't help or who you're not interested in helping. So the more you can kind of pre-qualify, pre-screen these leads before you're spending your valuable time or your team's valuable time on discussing the case, you can really reduce the calls from unqualified leads, just the inquiries in general from unqualified leads, by very clearly describing the type of case that you handle in videos. So some examples kind of by specialty that I have included on the screen now to help you. These are really strong qualifying questions. So think about it. In bankruptcy, is it time for me to file? Business litigation, do I have a winning breach of contract claim? Estate planning, do I need an attorney to draft my estate plan? Family law, should I retain an attorney for my divorce? Personal injury, do I have a case? Social Security disability, will I qualify for benefits? So I think you could imagine how answering these direct questions will really help you screen out the prospects that you know you can help and that you want to help. So here's a sample video. Again, I told you we're gonna provide a lot of samples, but here's a sample video we recently shot to help one of our attorney subscribers screen out kind of her most qualified bankruptcy prospects. So let's watch that now.
Hi, my name is Shereen Middleton, founder of Middleton Legal. My office is located in Greenbelt, Maryland. We had a lot of questions from clients about the timing and when they should file for bankruptcy. Today, we're going to talk about if your situation is bad enough to file for bankruptcy. When it comes to filing for bankruptcy, no one knows your situation better than yourself. If you are struggling financially and worried about paying your bills, you might be wondering, is my situation bad enough to file bankruptcy? As a bankruptcy lawyer, I'm asked that question often by folks just like you. Good, responsible people who find themselves in debt due to unforeseen and traumatic circumstances.
Hi, I'm Robin Nitschke.
Excuse me. Okay, so actually I'm looking for a different slide.
Hi.
How to begin. Okay, so this sort of forced shift by the pandemic to almost lower the visual quality of video and more kind of casual settings by even the largest news organizations, our nation's top government officials, has really made self-shot videos highly acceptable. So we're in this Zoom age, right? And as I was alluding to earlier, you do not need to spend tens of thousands of dollars or spend a ton of time to produce, a top production, high production value video. So if you're not already regularly producing videos, this sort of radical change to the casual, Zoom video, it really kind of levels the playing field and makes it easy for you to begin. It's the perfect time to do this. I mean, seriously, pull out your phone, sit down in front of your computer and hit record. It's really as simple as that. The only additional equipment we recommend, if you have it, is an external microphone. Audio quality is important, but it's not an absolute must. If you're gonna shoot with your smartphone, you could order a $20 phone tripod or a stand that will be helpful. You can get one on Amazon, but everyone is using Zoom these days, right? We're broadcasting this webinar through Zoom. Everyone is very comfortable and really just used to this kind of format of information delivery. So viewing a Zoom quality presentation has become acceptable for all levels of information conveyance. And Zoom lets you record like I'm doing now. I'll provide you all the recording of this presentation at the end, but Zoom lets you easily record as well as share your screen, again, like I'm doing. So it's easy to create a compelling slide supported presentation in one take. You don't need to film your direct to camera portion and then overlay your slides in post-production. You can do just as I'm doing now, sharing your screen, using some basic slides, and then you've basically created your presentation in one take. And don't feel that your presentation has to be error-free. A corrected kind of misstatement, a hesitation, an or an ah, here or there, it actually makes you more human, it makes you more approachable, and it just lowers the barrier of entry to start. And if you prepared slides beforehand, you can share them during your recording and create a finished video in one take. No editing will be needed. If you want to have your shoots edited, you can definitely find editing professionals on freelance sites, freelancer sites like there's Upwork or Fiverr for really inexpensive. But again, it's not critical. It's more important to get the information out there. And of course, provided in our marketing amplifier program, we handle everything, all of the editing that is necessary. You literally just have to show up to the 30-minute monthly shoot. So that's also an option too. Okay, so promotion, right? So creating a steady flow of videos is certainly most of the work, but you still need to publish and promote them. People still need to see these videos. So the primary promotion channels that we recommend, your website, absolutely no brainer, 100%, you need video on your website. Social media, emails, and YouTube. So I'll go through briefly all 4 of these channels, but we suggest you focus on creation, on the video creation, so shooting the videos, and if you can, delegate the posting to someone in your firm if you have help. After all, you're the only one who can create the videos, but anyone, freelancer, staff member, us, we can of course post them for you. But if this individual understands video optimization, that's even better, but I'll touch on that in a moment. So tips for increasing viewership. So as with books or movies, the cover frequently determines whether a reader or whether a viewer will actually take a closer look. So it's important to write a headline that's directed at the prospective viewer's interests. So if you take a look at the slide, do you have a winning case? And these are sort of headline examples. Do you have a winning case? Is your appeal likely to succeed? How to reduce the chaos in your divorce? How to restore your credit after bankruptcy? Mistakes frequently made by self-representing claimants. Common shortcomings in internet estate plans. So video optimization is also it's part science, part art, and frankly not for novices. So we recommend you engage an experienced freelancer or a marketing agency to handle that work for you, but it's also not an absolute must. So regardless of where you post your videos, attracting viewers, it remains important. But if you remember that you need an engaging first slide, so try to design an attractive cover, use a compelling sort of benefit-oriented headline, and then add supported bullets where you can. And then secondarily, if you have the help or if you have the know-how, the search optimization piece, we targeted keywords in the video's title, use other relevant keywords in your meta description, consider providing a transcript. But I don't want to get too hung up on that search optimization piece, as there's a lot you can do to promote these videos kind of without it. As I mentioned, your website needs videos. Again, your website needs videos. I look at hundreds of law firm websites and so few include video. And if they do, it's typically one about the firm video. That's great, but sometimes it's dated. Sometimes it doesn't really, give you much valuable information. Ideally, you need a steadily growing collection of videos on your website. Videos are more effective at building trust and really distinguishing you from the competition than anything else you can place on your site. So they make a wonderful addition. I hope if you take nothing else away from this presentation, it's how critical and how effective video is in your marketing. And quite frankly, videos have become a mandatory component of legal websites, though they are lacking on so many sites. But, you know, with most website views now happening on mobile devices, you know, on phones, videos have really become the more effective form of communication. I mean, think about it. Mobile visitors are they're less likely to read lengthy text on their phones, right? Scroll through, but they'll absolutely watch a video on their phone. So what do we suggest specifically on your website? Definitely do you have a case video sort of for the top of your website, ideally the top of your website location. So that content will qualify your leads, as well as, of course, demonstrate your expertise, build your trust, distinguish yourself from the competition. But then after kind of the broad scope video, like I mentioned, we absolutely recommend a collection of tightly focused videos on past cases or specific fact patterns, answering common questions. Your goal here is to match one of your prospect situations with your videos. Okay, so moving on to the next sort of promotional channel, certainly email. So emails with video links have higher open and click-through rates. It's just a fact. So you're nurturing emails. Hopefully you have some sort of drip sequence or a nurturing series of emails to your prospects, those prospects who don't sign up right away. You know, you should be kind of automatically staying in touch with those folks. So your nurturing series of emails should include links to your videos. Once you have them created, it's a wonderful place to put these videos. And again, you set these series up once, and it provides value honestly for years and years and years, sometimes just untouched or with minor tweaks, updates. So, and this is the same case for any kind of reply emails you send to interested prospects, right? Include video links. We suggest putting video : blank in the headline. So video : and then whatever the video headline is. Open rates will climb, unsubscribe rates will decline, and most important, your click-through rates will skyrocket with this approach. So it's proven that emails with video, they are opened more often and they're clicked more often. And, you know, permanently add a link to your kind of showcase video in your signature line, sort of below your email signature. You send a lot of emails every day. Why not provide that link to prospects, to clients, to you know, partners, anyone who you know would find that helpful. So include your video link in your signature line as well. And you know, we writers, we sometimes forget that not everyone is interested or is as interested in text, right, as in reading as we are. So many people prefer watching to reading. And I think that number is increasing all the time. I know that number is increasing all the time. So combining text with video enables your content to appeal to both readers and watchers. So again, types of emails that you should add your videos to definitely include most of the emails in your auto-sent prospect nurturing drip series. Welcome letters for new clients, great way to establish that first impression, continue building that trust with new clients. Digital newsletters sent to past clients. If you're sending a monthly digital newsletter, include a video there. Remind people what you do and how you can help if they need you again, or if they have friends or family who are going through a situation where you could provide help. And then again, in your signature box. So in fact, your video, instead of your email, can communicate kind of the bulk of the information that you want to convey. We love using Loom, Loom. It's a nice little free online software for this type of kind of one-to-one video. So if you have either a prospect or probably more likely a current client who you're looking to convey a large amount of information to, I suggest just jumping on Loom, Loom, and recording a quick video and then emailing that link out to your client. So creating them can be simpler and faster than writing a lengthy email. Okay, so more promotion. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Your social profiles are a natural place to promote your videos. Social media loves videos. The video is very highly effective on social. If you're active on social media and you're not providing regular videos to your audiences there's a huge missed opportunity. That said, I know only a percentage of lawyers have social profiles, and many of those are even inactive. So I won't spend too much time on this promotional channel, but just know that our favorite 2 social locations for lawyers, Facebook and LinkedIn, by far the most effective. But if you have followers on Twitter, if you have followers on Instagram, obviously those should be included as well. And if you have followers, definitely add video to the mix of content you're providing on your social profiles. Engagement will materially increase when you do. As part of the Marketing Amplifier, we include a complete social media package. Everything is included in the program. So we're automatically sharing your video and other content on your social profiles. Okay, YouTube. YouTube is the #2 search engine. So if you're going to regularly produce video content, which of course we highly recommend, definitely add a YouTube channel if you don't have one already. So if you place your videos in only 2 locations due to their traffic, those spots should absolutely be your website and YouTube. So some lawyers have made YouTube their primary promotion avenue, believe it or not. I mean, one of the early YouTube video sort of pioneers is New York MedMal lawyer Jerry Oginski, who has detailed dozens of his past cases on videos. And, YouTube is second only to Google in search volume. So it's the most logical home sort of outside your website for your videos. And since you're likely to kind of house your website's videos on YouTube, it just makes sense to have your own YouTube channel to publicize it, right? If you have your own YouTube channel, you can provide a single link that includes your full library of videos, includes every single video on that channel. So ideally, you will get on a sort of a regular video publication schedule. So you can ask viewers to actually subscribe to your channel so that they'll be automatically notified whenever new videos are produced. Okay, so obviously, getting on YouTube is sort of a no-brainer if you're producing these videos. It only makes sense. Okay, so before we get to questions, I wanted to briefly discuss that we obviously have a done-for-you solution. It's called our Marketing Amplifier program. Please ask any questions that you have in the chat and in the Q&A, and we'll get to those in just a moment. But our Marketing Amplifier, it's a comprehensive program. We provide monthly custom videos, content, follow-up, reviews, social media, website editions. So we actually record videos over Zoom, which again is how we keep our shoots efficient and certainly affordable. We eliminate the travel. We keep the monthly shoots to 30 minutes. Little preparation is needed. We really handle everything for you outside the 30 minutes that we need you to be present on a Zoom to actually collect the footage. We provide the scripts, we provide the talking points, the topics, anything that you need, we're providing for you. It's part of the content pieces, right? So also as a subscriber to our Marketing Amplifier program, you gain immediate access to our massive library of branded, specialty-specific consumer books and booklets. So this means anywhere from 25 to nearly 40 books and booklets on varying topics. So they range from a couple pages all the way up to 50 or 60 pages. All of this content, again, is consumer facing. It's answering common prospect and client questions. And as long as you're a subscriber, you're essentially licensing the content from us. So you're really free to use it in any way that you wish, but we do put the content to work for you in some very specific ways. We add the content to your website, of course. We add a lead magnet, meaning we're offering the content in exchange for contact information for your prospects. Then we're automatically entering those prospects into an email drip nurturing campaign for you. We're welcoming your new clients with comprehensive new client welcome series. And then, of course, we're helping you stay top of mind with your past clients for referral purposes. And the way we're doing that is a monthly newsletter is also included in the program. So again, feel free to reach out to me. You can see my direct phone number and email address there. And in the chat, I have dropped my direct scheduler link. So please reach out, even if you just have any questions about marketing. I love talking about this stuff. And just know that that you can chat with me anytime. Okay, so questions. Please submit your questions now. Okay, Adam asks, does posting videos on homepage cause slowdown of loading time? So that's a good question, and it's certainly a concern that loading time is an important metric, performance metric for your website. However, if you're hosting your video on YouTube and you're simply embedding that YouTube video onto your homepage, it will not impact load time whatsoever. So the benefits just so dramatically outweigh the risk, and you can always kind of monitor that, but it shouldn't be an issue at all. Okay, so how valuable is it to have the transcript of the video while the video is playing? Does it help with SEO of video by having words on the video? This is also from Adam. I didn't realize that. Okay, yeah, so great. Absolutely. No brainer. Use a transcription service to transcribe your video because, as you mentioned, Adam, that's the content that the search engines are going to crawl, right? The written, they can't read the text that's being spoken within the video, right? So a great way to kind of repurpose and get the most out of that is to transcribe the video, but it also allows your visitor to kind of ingest the information as they wish. In other words, if they want to watch the video, great. If they're more of a kind of a skim reader or just more of a reader in general, they can collect that information down below. Okay, so question is, which areas of practice do you cover in your marketing amplifier program? Okay, great question. So since it is so content based, so content heavy, and our team of attorney editors who have worked on our legal books for 40 years. They're the same team that drafts all of the content for our marketing amplifier program. So we currently offer the full program in 7 core specialties. So I'll just list them quickly: personal injury, estate planning, family law, bankruptcy, business litigation, criminal defense, and I'm forgetting one. Social Security disability, of course. Yeah, so those are the primary areas, and we're always kind of working to build out those areas and move into other areas as well. Okay. I'm just reading these quickly. Okay, so Adam, quick follow-up. Can the web spiders actually crawl or actually read the words in the actual video, which helps SEO? No, they cannot. That's why, to your point, applying the transcription below is a positive for search engines. Okay, David, we have access to video. We have access to video showcasing our membership in top 1%. Should we put it on the homepage and practice area pages? Absolutely. Yeah. I think you should definitely promote that in any way that you can. David, maybe if you can reach out to me directly if you have more specific questions, I can get a little bit more info, but yes, I think that's a great idea. Okay, so next question. How much time do you think is needed to create the steady flow of videos that you recommend? Great question. That's probably, one of the biggest hurdles is, attorneys tell me, I don't have time for this. I'm always dealing with pressing client matters. How would I have time for this? So my answer is 1 hour per week can deliver you 4 to 5 videos each month. So if you dedicate an hour a week, that can deliver 4 to 5 videos each month. If you don't have that much time to dedicate every week, maybe you're just dedicating 30 minutes a month, whatever you have, chunk out your time, schedule out that time. I have, some subscribers, some attorneys who actually have a dedicated workspace, maybe in the corner of their office. It's a laptop set up with a ring light and their microphone, and it's kind of dedicated. It's really used for shooting video. So whenever they have free, 10 minutes, they sit down, they answer a common question that they receive, they outline a past case, and then they have that video. As part of our marketing amplifier system, we keep you accountable by ensuring that every single month you're jumping on a 30-minute call with us, 30-minute shoot, I should say, with us, with our video experts, to make sure that you are producing a steady flow of fresh videos. What is your most recommended type of video? If you're just going to shoot one type, I recommend the past case video. Even if it's just sort of varying fact patterns or, varying types of transactions, it's really the most compelling and sort of the easiest to provide, and it's the most effective. So I would definitely recommend that. Okay, so let me see. Any other questions? Keep them coming. Let me read this one real quick. So Daryl, I'm a little confused by your question. I'll reach out to you after. I'm not totally sure what you're looking to do, but I will definitely reach out to you after. And no, everyone on this call will receive the full recording. So you will get that later today. And again, reach out. I look forward to talking to many of you, and join us for another educational webinar next week. It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day and a wonderful holiday weekend. Bye-bye.